What up? Morning coffee. Shaping success. Morning coffee. Here we go. Been doing this every morning, 5 o'clock, my time. A little bit late. Restream, which is the program that I use to stream this, was acting a little funky yesterday, so it kind of died out. You had to catch it on TikTok. Nikki's in the house as usual. Appreciate you being here. I have got to find that chat window because it is not showing. That's not the interview chat. That's not what I want. This is one of those deals where maybe it is interview chat. Oh, I hear it. I don't see it. That is not it. This has been comments and reactions. There we go. There we are. Nikki is on YouTube too. If you guys are hanging out over in TikTok and you want to get in on the conversation, it is right here in YouTube, Facebook. This thing is streaming all over the place. And yeah, we just chat about morning coffee. We chat about things. Yesterday, I wanted to kind of address what happened yesterday. And I didn't feel like taking it out because it's a real raw moment, right? I talk to people a lot of times about like allowing other people to have control of the situation that you have. And a lot of people don't know what's going on here. You know, here we are, we're streaming on TikTok. I'm streaming on YouTube at the same time. And I do it because I have a lot of people, I have a lot of followers on TikTok. I have a lot of people who comment, like, I mean, I was just going through the comments this morning. I took a little break from going through comments because, you know, I'm human, and I was going through some crap that I just didn't feel like interacting as much. I was posting some videos, but not interacting just because I just didn't feel like I was in the right frame of mind. And, but anyway, there's a lot of people that follow me over there. So I would like to get you guys to migrate over to YouTube at some point because the interaction is great with those people. And yesterday I was on TikTok, you know, and I look over at the screen every once in a while and there's a troll in there. There's a guy starting talking trash. You better quit while you're ahead. There's only one person in here. No one's listening, and this guy's just talking to himself. That's all he's doing, blah, 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 blah. Well, you don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know who I am. And I allowed him to take the power, you know, the power that I have. And I, in the moment, had like a heated exchange with the guy who, you know, I basically gave him the power, and I don't think that it's necessary to do that. And, you know, I mean, I probably would say that a lot of the reaction yesterday was just because I'm just tired, man. It's just one of those deals. But normally I don't let that stuff bother me. And it did a long time ago, like it did. Like I felt like there was a moment in my TikTok career that there was some people who were talking smack on a video that I had posted. And a lot of times with TikTok, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a viral video, right? You're trying to get into you're trying to get those people to follow you. You're trying to get interaction, because if you get more interaction, maybe hopefully, for me, it's all about trying to get more people to hear my message. And so in order to find the right people to listen to your message, you sometimes post things that, you know, will get people talking, right? So at one point I posted something. It's been a long time. Nikki knows about this. A lot of people who follow me for a while know about this because this is where I felt like I became the TikToker or the person that I am. And it has helped me to be better. But I had watched some video and I had looked at it, and you look at the analytics on someone else's video, and it was some girl who said, "Tell me you don't look your age without telling me you don't look your age. I'll go first." And then she put her age, and she was, I don't know, like 30, but she looked like she's 18, right? So I thought, you know what? I'm going to glom onto that one. I'm going to use that sound. I'm going to make it myself, and I'll say it too. So I say it thinking, you know, I feel like I look like I'm younger, or I feel like I look younger than I am. Well, we talked about hater math the other day. I mean, there was a bunch of people like, no way, you're not that old, blah, 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 blah. And then there was the other side. And this video went viral. Well, I mean, as viral as viral. It's almost got 100,000 views on it. But when you have an audience of like 200, 300, 400 people watching each one of your videos, and then all of a sudden you get 100,000, there's a lot more people exposed. And they're looking at it, and then they just started. Like I remember sitting there looking at the comments because I try to reply to every single comment that is posted in some way. They're like it or hit an emoji or respond with something. And this person or these people just started just freaking shredding me, tearing me apart, ripping me apart. And it was like, sometimes there's those comments where it's, you know, this is, oh man, where I lost my train of thought. Sometimes there's a like, okay, so you get 10 really good ones and then you get one hater person, right? Like this was, I swear it had to be like 50-50. I'm reading through it and I'm just starting getting devastated. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, how can people be so mean? How can people be so rude? Where do these people come from? I mean, I had someone with a blue check mark make some joke about it, thought it was funny. I mean, it just trashed me. And I started thinking about it. And as they're commenting on that one, they're seeing these other videos. So then someone started making fun of my white Oakley sunglasses, which I love. I need to wear them more. And the reason why I wear the white ones, because a lot of people are like, oh, white's terrible. Those are ugly. They're trashy, blah, blah, blah. Like they were just going off on them. Well, I had a student that I had taught and coached in my first teaching career, and we went to a baseball game, and I wore contacts at the time. I hadn't had, because I've had LASIK since. And I had like an eye infection, so I couldn't wear my contacts, but I hated wearing my glasses. And so I had to wear glasses to let my eyes kind of rest a little bit. And doing that, like I always wear sunglasses because my eyes are kind of sensitive to light. I had forgot my sunglasses. And so we're in McCall, Idaho, which is like 2 hours away, no sunglasses, no nothing. I'm like, shoot, what am I going to do? And Connor, the guy who I was coaching, gave me his sunglasses. And I had always made fun of Connor. Connor was a really cool kid, but suffered from leukemia. And he was in and out of the team, but it was cool to have him there. We actually had to go visit him in the hospital. He has since like kicked it, beat it. But I always remember him because he's a tough guy. Only lefty we had. I always wanted to pitch. We let him pitch. But anyway, he handed me his sunglasses. I'm like, man, these are white. Like I was like, I'm not wearing these, are white, because I thought the same thing. And he goes, yeah, man, you're going to look cool. I'm like, okay, whatever. So standing coaching third base with these white sunglasses on. But, you know, they helped, right? They helped me with the sunlight. They helped me with everything that I needed. I was able to put my contacts in before the game, but it was kind of, wind was blowing and I didn't want to pop out because of the eye infection. So anyway, wore the white sunglasses, loved them, and went and bought a pair. And then so people were now going after me because of the fact that I had posted this video that got a ton of views, and then I brought out all the trolls. And so, you know, these trolls, like on yesterday, like hopped on here, and that was the first time I reacted to a troll in that way, because typically what I do is just delete the comment and move on. And I couldn't do it. Like I was just so mad yesterday. I don't know why. And I felt guilty because, again, like we were talking about, you give them the power. So one of my first reactions when all that stuff started happening was to react to the comments. So like I would go in there and I'd be like, dude, you're wrong. Like someone was talking about my hat being a flat bill and saying, you know, like, because hats have gone a certain way, right? When I was a kid, right now I'm wearing my hat backwards because I want to cover up my messy hair. And if I put my bill forward, you're not going to see me on the camera talking. But I wore my hat backwards all the time. That was just the thing in the 90s when I grew up. Like people were wearing their hat backwards. And it's one of those deals where you don't want the bill in your face all the time. and you don't want to comb your hair. So, but you do want to wear a hat. So you put it on and yeah, it's backwards. Big deal. It was a thing of the 90s. And I mean, I don't know if, you don't see as many people wearing their hat backwards. But I still do it from time to time. Like when I'm sitting down and I'm going to have a conversation with someone and I have a hat on, I usually like turn it around, like if I'm eating or something like that, because I want people to be able to see my eyes when I talk to them, because, communication, when you're looking at someone in the eyes, it means a lot more. It's a lot more meaningful than not. Anyway, start defending yourself about stuff. And you're like, I started to really think about it. It's like, why am I defending myself to people? If I like wearing my hat backwards, I'm going to wear it backwards. If I like wearing my bill flat on my hat, I'm going to do that. It doesn't mean that the way that you do it, if you like your bill curved, if you like your hat forward, if you don't like wearing a hat, if you don't think that it's right, that's wrong. It's what you like. And so what happens is you start to, what's going on? Sharon's over in TikTok. What happens is you allow people to dictate to you what you like. Are you really being your true self? And so this guy jumped in yesterday and I was sitting there going, he's like, yeah, there's like one person in the room, and that's not what it's about. Like there's two people in TikTok right now. There's one person over here, and you go to the downloads of this podcast that I've been doing, this morning coffee that I've been doing, and I'm getting a lot more downloads off of that than the interviews, because it's raw, it's real, it's something that people can really get into and understand. And don't get me wrong, I love doing the interviews. I did one yesterday that will be coming out on Monday, but it's kind of like I'm trying to find my voice a little bit more, and people can only hear me say things about what I think about other people's stuff so many times before they just kind of like, well, I've heard that before. And this is one of those things that this is the way that, I think about it. And, I mean, I got a comment on YouTube this morning that said, man, I scrolled across this. Thank you for doing it. I just happened upon it, and it reached a person that it had never reached before. So that's what it's about. And I just don't want to be reactive to negative stuff. And I've done a really good job of not doing that. So yesterday, as I was like, I could feel myself getting angry and putting myself in a spot because this guy over here who has no clue what's actually going on just scrolled upon me and started making this reference that what I was doing sucked. And it doesn't suck, and I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep doing this. So, we go across, we work through these things, we talk about a lot of stuff, and on these lives, and then I get that's the thing, is like there's one bad comment, and all I keep getting from people that I know, people in my circle, is that they love this. So we sit here and we allow these people to dictate to us what's going on. But the reality is there was one jackass on TikTok that was talking smack, and I allowed it to affect me. So if I allowed that to affect me, and we have covered this topic already. It could be a barrier, right? Like we talked about barriers the other day, and there is a barrier right there. Like I woke up this morning and I'm freaking beat. Like I have been beat for a few weeks, for a few months. There's a lot of stuff going on personally that I'm trying to work through. I'm at peace with, but it still bugs me. And I still got to work through it, and part of that is selling my house that I just built, that I just moved into. And there's a lot of things that I have to do because of the way that my work situation kind of is right now. I'm having to do things a little bit differently. We're having to we're scrounging money, trying to find a way to survive until we can get it. And this is happening all over America. This is not like my problem is the only one. Like there's a lot of people who are in this situation right now, and we'll get through it because we always do. But things don't happen fast enough, right? So then you're stressing about that. And so I built this house. There's things I have to do. I'm trying to make it happen. My wife had to work more, which I have two kids that they're kind of spread out a little bit. One is 10, the other one is 2, and they have different schedules, which again, this is not like a big deal in this world. It's just like these are things that we're trying to deal with, and it's a time and it's a season and it's something that we're going to get through. But I have to finish certain things around here, which are hard to do. Um, my daughter is 10. She's not quite old enough to watch my 2-year-old while I try to do things while my wife's at work. Finding babysitters, finding people to watch your kids is really tough. And then again, it costs money to do that. So just trying to find ways to get things done and navigate that has been difficult. And, I work, she works. My job's a little different than hers. She's a nurse, so she goes 7 to 7, but she's got to drive there. So it's really like 5 to 8 is what it really turns into, because she's got to get up at 5. She's got to get going. And then like with selling a house, I don't know if you guys have ever sold a house before, but it's difficult too, because people always want to come look at it. You got to show it, you got to get it ready. So like your house has to be perfectly clean all the time because people are coming in. And we never really got a chance to completely move in. I mean, you look at like what's going on in here, like this is good enough right now. It's not how I would do it. It's not how I would complete it, but I don't feel the need to complete something that I'm just going to have to take down. So I don't know. Stresses in life are things that, you have to work through, you have to get through, but these are all things. And, it's very tough. The problem is that, Nikki, and this directly affects you because we do the motivational music hour, and Wednesday becomes it's a day that I enjoy, and it's a day that I want to do something, because it's my day, right? Like podcast in the morning. Like yesterday I did this, and then I did a podcast interview, which I enjoy doing. And then had to go to work. And then when I got done with work, we get to do the motivational music hour, which I really enjoy doing. But then because work is slow, I'm struggling trying to get as much as I can. So then I'm late, and which it was really cool yesterday because it worked out. We made it work, and I can make it work out. And that's what's awesome. And then, run in real quick, eat dinner, come back out and do One Drink Wednesday, because that's my Wednesday. Like that's a normal thing. And I want that to just be a fun thing. It's really cool to be able to just walk out here and do it. Right. Which I don't know, the next chapter, I may not have this space. I may have to build something again, which that's the thing. It's like, that's the mentally frustrating thing. We all have those things that we're going through. And I can see it. So, and excuse me, the way you deal with it, I think I've dealt with it pretty well myself, but there's a lot of stuff going on, right? There's a lot of stuff going on. So this is a cool place. This doing this morning coffee is an awesome place to be able to, talk about those things. Oh, by the way, my Warriors Collection coffee. Yeah. Exactly. Sharon says, that's a tough you have to face, especially when you didn't have to get a chance to enjoy what you built. Like, yeah, this was a plan of, I've thought about this. So, and that's the tough part too, is like, we sold our house, our last house that we owned, a little over 3 years ago, or close to 3 years ago. And we did that knowing that, at that point in time where the economy was, we made a profit on our house, a good enough one that we could afford this house with some additional income. And, which, market's going like this. I'm 100% sales commission job, and money just keeps coming, right? And then we lived in a rental that didn't really have a dedicated space where I could do the podcast. In my previous home, I had an office. Like, if it's funny, like hindsight's 2020, and I know that everything happens for a reason. We could have just stayed in that house and everything would have been just fine, and we probably would have owned half of it now. But whatever. It is what it is. We'll make it work and we'll figure it out. But I had a dedicated space there where I could do my podcast, where I could do everything that I wanted to do. And, the idea is just to be better every day, to grow, to get better things, and have those types of situations. But anyway, that's rather here nor there. It is what it is, and what we're going to do is just continue to move forward. That's it. That's all we can do. And that's like with this podcast, right? The Warrior is in the house. Warriors Collection. Brian has joined us on Facebook. Great coffee cup, great coffee. If you guys want an awesome discount on the coffee club, you should go over to Warriors Collection and go get that. Hashtag SWC, 15% discount on your coffee. Shameless plug for Brian Sales, my buddy, that I have known for a very long time, and I'm proud to know. So anyway, that's where it's at. That's what we got going on. It's all about just trying to find a way to navigate that, and to not quit, and to keep going, and to keep moving forward. And that's what we have to do. We have to keep pushing. We have to stay strong. And it's okay to fall down, and it's okay to be, a little upset and not understand. But you have to remember that everything does happen for a reason. And we've got to just figure out how to navigate that, and how to build that, and how to keep going. So that's where we're at today. I look forward to doing this every morning. And it's one of those deals where you just kind of got to just keep going and see where it goes. The people who have followed the podcast for a while, they enjoy this. And so I'm going to keep posting it, and I'm going to keep doing it, and you'll get some interviews here and there, but mostly it's just going to be kind of a reflection on how I'm working through things, and hopefully it'll help you to find a way to continue to move forward as well. So that's what we got for today. If you guys want to join the Patreon, help support, help grow, help this thing build up a little bit more, you can go to westankerson.com or shapingsuccessnetwork.com, and the links are all there. Check them out. Little $3 a month. You can support the show. And let's do this again tomorrow. Till next time, I challenge you to find the shape of your success.